Hey guys,
Back again
with another video from SEQ.
Momma SEQ.
You dig? Okay, so it's been a little over about a week since we've done a video, and I was just gonna ask Momma SEQ how Petty LaHelle is doing. Petty LaBelle. Petty. Hey Petty. Hey Petty. Petty, 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 Petty LaBelle. How am I doing on my pettiness?
Petty's doing well. We're doing well. It's, everyone has moments, but it's getting better.
Everyone has moments.
Now, I'm the 70s child, but you would think that she was born in the 70s.
We are going to do a video today about forgiveness, and since people that don't really know a lot about me, and trust me, I'm not offended. I don't want to be an internet celebrity. I do not want to be that person who does city tours talking about relationships and love and stuff. Not knocking, just don't want to be that person. But for people that know me, they know that this right here is like miracle stuff. And so I guess I want to talk about forgiveness as it relates to family members, because it's super important that you understand that we didn't talk for almost 10 years. And there have been moments that I'm not exactly too proud of, one of which I tried to kill my mom. So, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
We have to really be careful of what we put in front of our kids. And I was in some pretty screwed up relationships that actually put a man in front of my kids, which caused our dysfunction. My other daughter's dysfunction, her unfortunate generational curse in doing some things that I did, not being a part of my son's life because of my choices. The great thing is you always have the ability to begin again as long as you have forgiveness. The best thing is look at what you're doing. Don't think that you're lonely, because you may be alone, but you're not lonely. There are too many things that we can do better about our children and what our relationships are. The wonderful thing is that we found our way back to each other. She had to forgive me. I had to forgive her. Moving forward, we're doing very, very well.
Okay, let me fill in the pieces right there. All right. So, imagine it. Sicily, 1993. Okay, this is not Golden Girls, so imagine it's 1993, and we don't have cell phones yet that are readily available to the public. And imagine, you're not getting along with your mom or whatever, and you leave, you take a trip to the bay, and then you come back from the bay, land at the airport, and there's nobody there to get you. Yeah, that's my story. And from the time that I left the bay to the time I came back to Ontario airport, my mom had changed her telephone number at the house. And I had no way to contact her. All of a sudden, Nothing ass nigga. That's what I call him. That's what he was. That's what he probably still is today. And my mom stayed in that relationship for
11 years.
11 years. And it totally ruined our relationship. It ruined her relationship with my brother. It ruined her relationship with my sister. And it wasn't until I got in a very dysfunctional relationship, or several dogs and cats and boys and girls, that, and I didn't leave, by the way. So I would get into these relationships, they'd be dysfunctional, and I wouldn't leave. It was like I was searching for Mr. Goodbar, but I kept going in the trial candy bar section. What are those little candy bars called? Trial size, snack size. I was looking for the big candy bar, but I kept going in the snack size section. So it seemed like every dude that I would get with, he wasn't yet. And it was really difficult until one day God put it up on my heart and said, you know, what you're feeling, that's what your mom went through. That's a heck of a thing for God to put on your heart. What you're going through, your mom went through. And I would just see the similarities in, you know, me needing to leave a situation but not leaving, just based on the fact that I couldn't leave. Like, I was so in love with the dysfunction that I couldn't leave. That was a taught behavior. You know, so some of the things that we do around our children, you know, super important. I went and spoke at a class not too long ago. A friend of mine, she teaches a class, a psychology class, and I went and spoke at her class. And some of the students came back and, you know, they kind of said, you know, I'm in denial, I have PTSD, you know, the way that I forgive people is just unbelievable. While I can understand that, radical forgiveness is an actual thing. And it takes you having courage to deal with your own screw-ups to actually forgive somebody else, because the radical part of that forgiveness is forgiving yourself. So there were many moments when I thought that the reason why my mom gave me up had everything to do with me and nothing to do with her. Like, I've always been outspoken. I've always been the type of person to just tell it like it is. Like, I was like 13, like, Mom, you're fucking up. What's going on? Maybe I didn't use that word. Maybe I did. I don't.
She did.
Okay.
She did it.
Like,
a lot.
You're fucking up. You know. And that's really young to look at your mom and be like,
what the hell happened to you? Because this is not the person I remember.
Girl, down. That's what I used to just, in my mind, I'd be like, girl, down. Calm that down. So then I had several of those calm that down moments. I remember one time I was dating this guy. Oh my God. If my friend Karen watches this, Karen Boo, you're probably going to remember this. So I was dating this guy, living with him in college, okay? And he had 2 kids on the way. I was living here. 2 kids on the way. I hit up my homegirl Karen. I was like, Karen, I'm dating yada 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 yada. She knew one of the baby mamas.
Doe-eyed, scrunchy face, for real.
I was like, this is all bad. Went to his house, confronted him. He beat the shit out of me, threw me through the shower door while his mom sat in the other room on the phone. Okay. So that was one situation. Another situation, I got with this guy. He talks about how religious he was, and girl, he had saw me stupid right on my face. Driving down the street, my license plate used to say prayerful. And so he preyed upon that, as demons do. And it was crazy because we got together and I brought him back to my house. I was like, oh, it's going down. We went to have sex and I started to feel sick. Has anybody ever felt that? Like you feel like it's butterflies in your stomach, but on a trillion, so it's not really comfortable. At that time, I didn't know that I was allowing a demon to enter my body. Didn't know. But I kept getting up like it was taking my breath away or something. It was really demonic. Well, long story short, found out he was a crackhead. And his mom had lied about having cancer. I had given her all my like luxury bags and like all my suits that didn't fit. Yeah, mom lied about having cancer. He was a crackhead, stole my car. Okay? And on April Fool's Day, and when they found my S500 sitting on 22s, he was pimping and pandering the same girls that I rescued in Linwood. Yes, girl, in Linwood.
And in the back, in the trunk, was all his paraphernalia.
Girl, it was just like, so if you know any prostitutes, it's called like a hoe bag, right? It's a bag of like your toiletries, your toothpaste, because you have to go from person to person to person. And so, you know, you have to have a bag to clean yourself up, little summer's eve wipes and stuff. Anyway, dated him. Ended up having to go to court only to find out that his wife, because he was married, girl, was an evangelist. And she helped him to run up one of my credit cards. Yeah, that happened. So when things like that happen to me, God always would say, and you're not forgiving your mom, why? God gave me a whole bunch of
aha moments. Like we all need.
doe-eye, scrunchy face. God was like, oh, you're not forgiving her, but you're doing the same old yaya stuff. Okay. So it's definitely been a process, because the last person my mom was with, I did not care for. I still don't care for. I will never care for. Didn't care for him when I met him. I'll never care for him. Okay? He's one of the people I want to just like from afar. Way over there. Okay?
But not even like from afar. Just be afar.
And the situation is, you know, it was difficult because as an adult, right? So here's the situation. My dad, rest in peace, told me before he passed away suddenly that I was going to have to go take care of my mom. Like literally my dad said, Munchkin, you got to go take care of your mama, because she would have nothing ass nigga and I don't want to have to kill him. Then the dude was calling me on my cell phone. You used to call me on my
cell phone.
Okay, sorry. So the dude called me on my cell phone and was telling me that he wanted to like kill my mama. Cut her up in tiny pieces. What would you do? Would you let her just stay out there and get cut the fuck up? And be on the news? And you'd be like, oh, we didn't see the signs. No, it took me 4 years to get my mom away from this dude. 4. And if you want to know the real reason behind my mom being retired, they worked together. So the only way that I was going to get my mom away from the guy was for her to retire. So I got her away from the guy, retired her. Now I take care of her. And, you know, it's a struggle sometimes because I have to, you know, remind my mom, you don't work for me, you work with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do for me. I'm trying to tell you what to do for the unit, the collective, you know? And my mom hasn't been in a role of an entrepreneur in so long that I think, sometimes I think you forget, like, how strenuous it is. Like, I work 7 days a week, okay? 7. 7. Okay? Not complaining, just explaining. And literally, I get up early in the morning. I get up yesterday to start today. Because that's what I would watch my mom do. You know, my mom, when I was growing up, my mom was an entrepreneur. And it was really fun. I realized over the years that I've just been repeating her footsteps. And so a part of that forgiveness process is just really going through the changes of understanding that, you know, we all go through things. And if you want me to be honest, the reason why I'm not in a relationship is not because, oh, my mom, I watch her. No, because, see, God will tell you, right, the traps that the enemy will lay, the ones that he allows the enemy to lay. Have you read the book of Job? So the enemy will lay traps for you, and if you're not careful, you'll fall susceptible to those traps every single time. Well, for me, relationships are a trap because I get so like engrossed in the relationship that I lose my whole sense of being. And it doesn't just happen in one, it happens in all of them. And, you know, I got tired of feeling like I was a slave to making this situation work. So when I decided to have a donor for my kids, that'll be a whole nother video. But love my donor. Shout out to my donor. I mean, the best gift that somebody can get from another, if they so choose to have it, is the ability to have children and not co-parent. Like, I just didn't want to co-parent. And I also didn't really want to have people around my children just because I was molested as a kid by her dumbass brother. And I don't really want to put my children in that situation. Like, the one thing that I think about every day before, you know, I lay my head down to take a nap to get up for the next day is another day my kids weren't touched. You know, that's the legacy that I'm left with, not because of her, but because I was molested by her brother. So for people who think, oh, you know, there's love out there for everyone, chill out.
Find a different love.
I have an honorary husband. He lives in Philadelphia. His name is Gary. I have an honorary wife. Her name is Stephanie. She lives in Arizona. I've never slept with either one of these people. We've never been intimate like that. But if something were to happen to my mother or me, these are two people that I would trust with my life and my children. That's priceless. Priceless. I've traveled the world with Gary. It's never been uncomfortable. I've had Stephanie and her boys in my home. It's never been uncomfortable. They come and they support me at my events. Yeah, that's right. Fly, drive in. They come, they support. And the relationships are so fulfilling that I don't really have a need for that. I already know them. I don't have time to get to know anybody. Let's be real. Okay?
She works 7 days a week.
I barely have time to get to know myself. You know, and that time that I carve out for my mom and my kids and my dogs, that's their time alone. You know, I have a little brother. He's not really little. He's 30 now. And, you know, he's my rah-rah. He's the person that's like, you know, are you working? You know, is that a hobby or a business? You making money? You know, he's the person that encourages me. I have a sister. She was the very first person to even support Light the Mood when I started back to making candles. First person. First sale. And my sister has been the person that when I've wanted to my mom, because those moments have happened, I call my sister. Because my sister is the voice of reason. And she's just like, hey, girl, you're going to have to calm all that down. Disrespect the mom, girl. Knock it off, girl. You know, so I have a big village. You know, and that village doesn't really consist of bringing people in that I'm going to have to get mad at and forgive later. Okay? Sometimes the biggest person you can forgive is yourself. You know, because if you keep doing things over and over again and you're messing up, you know, Louise Hay, she says, once you learn the lesson, the pain stops. You know, meaning, you know, you can do something over and over again, but once you learn the lesson, the pain stops because you stop doing whatever that thing is that is causing you that dis-ease, right? So it could be staying in a marriage that you know you need to get out of. How many women do we see right now that are pregnant in the media, you know, that are bringing a child into a whole bunch of dysfunction? The guy's not with them, guy's with somebody else, they're the side person, never was the person at all. That's a lot of dysfunction to bring a child into. You know, I didn't want to bring my children into that type of dysfunction. And I also didn't want to be in a situation where I fell so head over heels for somebody that I abandoned my kids. You know, it's just a matter of looking at that, what we black folks call a generational curse, and saying, no thanks, don't think I want to experience that. Yeah, well, that candle smells good.
Light the mood.
It smells good in here. Oh, it smells good in here. So anyway, I'm just hoping that this video can help somebody. I'm rambling all over the place. Normally I'm not like that, but you know.
But you have to really do the work, and you have to do the inner work on yourself. A psychotherapist, a psychiatrist, your general practitioner is not going to do the work for you. You're going to have to actually do the work. Skip taking the meds. Do the work.
Do the work.
Dig deep.
Deep. You have to bring it in and then reel it back, you know. It's my type of music. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so she gotta deal with this type of shit every day. You know what I'm saying? And she's still saying, that's forgiveness. Oh, that's all you got left? Y'all better be lucky I don't, you know, have rhythm, or I'd be doing some whole, like, listen, right? Because music is the soundtrack of my life, okay? I need you to understand that if I had a rhythm, I'd be breakdancing.
Always have a playlist.
If you want to be my friend. Seriously. Because my life is a playlist. Okay? And at any given moment, I'm busting out with a song. Any given moment.